Hello and happy December. As part of our inspirational message series this month for the Light and Love Box, we will be exploring peace. My name is Joe Courier.
And I'm Tracy Anderson. You are part of a growing community bringing peace, possibility, and prosperity to help transform our world with light and love.
You know, Tracy, it seems kind of fitting that for the final box of 2022, and the boxes are exploring peace and possibility. That's what we're talking about this month is peace.
When we talk about peace, I think a lot of times people are very focused on peace outside of themselves. I feel like a beauty pageant, world peace. But really, I want to focus today on the internal side of things because there is a concept that has been brought to my attention of reaction versus response. And those two words might seem very similar, that there's not actually a real difference.
Oh,
But
there is a big difference.
yes,
Yeah,
huge, because when it's a reaction, it's that first thing that comes out. So if somebody says something to you that upsets you and you immediately react to whatever they said, you're reacting out of your fear, out of your emotions, out of pain sometimes. Whereas a response actually comes from a place of peace, because even when you're in a situation where you're confronted with something that maybe is confrontational in nature, when you're able to respond from a place of peace, that means you have an internal healing that you have been able to achieve, experience, making it so that you're able to diffuse that potentially confrontational situation.
exactly. Because that reactionary versus responsive way of meeting things when they come to you. I mean, it's being triggered or and losing it, or it's being triggered and taking a step back and saying, wait, within myself, I've already had the opportunity to begin to work through this or to fully work through it.
When we had talked earlier, you had said something that I felt was very, very profound. You had said that triggers are an invitation to recognize something and in that moment choose to heal from it. I loved that because I think most of the time people are so caught up in that trigger and just how it makes them feel, and not realizing that those things that trigger you are that invitation, that opportunity to heal. And when you can heal from those things, you naturally move into a more peaceful state.
And when you have that internal inner sense of peacefulness, that then begins to radiate beyond. And I think that's the core of what being, this it spark yourself being that light then begins to illuminate. And it is going to take all of these individual little responses to make a collective response. You know, you in the beginning talked about we so much think about peace being outside of ourselves. And right now there is a lot of unrest around the world. And so we are thinking in terms of world peace, but we each have to hold that energy of peacefulness so that it can then be felt not just within ourselves, but to begin that process of just disseminating it and allowing it to every little drop to create that ocean of peace, because it will make a difference in the end.
And the more people that are then responding in that same way, that light grows and grows, so that peace then is ultimately experienced on a larger scale.
Which allows for that possibility and the prosperity of all things, the prosperity of hopefulness and love and abundance and gratitude and all of those things. Let's go back. We talked about triggers being that
Mhm.
invitation to recognize, and at that point being in a place where we make a choice. We choose how to react or how we're going to address whatever comes up. And it is actually a personal call to action. It's at that point that you stop and you say, okay, this is my opportunity to change something. And you change it within yourself. And that can mean just changing how you feel about it. And when you feel differently about something, then you can respond in a different way to something.
Yeah, when you take a moment to step back and look at something in that way, a lot of times you're given truths that you might have missed. So, or you're able to see things from a different perspective that allows healing to happen. We've discussed forgiveness during the growth ceremony,
Mhm.
and that plays a huge role in healing ourselves. But I think a lot of times too, just even just changing perspective helps to heal things as well. And so when you're able to either forgive or see things from another perspective, I don't know, I think it allows you to actually let things go at such a deep core level
Mhm.
that then once that's gone, it's like because truth was able to shine over that thing, that belief, that habit, whatever that is, it's like it just isn't there anymore. It's not something you have to fight against to try to suppress. It's beautiful how it just naturally transforms, really.
That inner calmness,
Mhm.
that place of calm, so that you then have that opportunity to change your life, honestly.
Mhm.
When you are calm within yourself, that radiates everywhere. And we already talked about that. And I think that's the potential here that everybody has, is to begin to step inner tranquility, their own inner self, and then move forward in a way that allows you to grow and honestly to teach others. Because
Mhm.
when you can step into a place of being calm, you change everything, not only in your life, but in the way that those around you respond or react or move through whatever the situation is.
I was recently in a situation where I've had this lifelong pattern of if I was accused of something that I didn't do, it was like shorter than a fuse, okay? Like literally if someone did that, I was exploding instantly. It was just bomb immediately. I and there was no stopping it. Like literally no stopping it. I could not make it stop. And that pattern is was very known. That's how I respond. If you accuse me of something that I did not do, it's ugly. And I had an opportunity to do a hypnotherapy session, and what I love about that type of opportunity for healing is it lets you get right down to the core, even if in your very conscious state you can't grab onto it, in that state you can. And
Right.
for me, hypnotherapy is kind of weird because I don't know, like I see colors and weird stuff's going on. I don't even know what's going on the outside. But I'm going to tell you, I got done with that hypnotherapy session and I could tell it was different. And the universe decided to help me see that I actually had healed. So I was
Because
immediately like the next day, I was confronted with somebody accusing me of something that I had not done. And I respond like it wasn't even a struggle. Like I didn't even have that. I didn't even have a fuse. Like it was okay. I was like, it was fine. I was able to move through it. I was able to respond peacefully. But it was funny because I didn't respond like a crazy person.
Mhm.
It really threw that person off. And they actually got upset with me because I responded so differently. They're like, "You're just doing that because you know that this is being recorded." And it wasn't even that. I was able to respond in a fully peaceful
Yeah.
state. And so I think it's just wonderful that we have that capability and that opportunity to heal from those things, even that are so extreme and so painful. And sometimes,
Deep-seated.
yeah, and sometimes we don't even know where it comes from. And we can heal and we can respond with peace. I mean, you gotta think about it. That is like one extreme to the next extreme because
You know,
I could not control it. Like I was instantly yelling. I say there's hope. There's
yeah.
hope to
Well,
find peace.
and there's multiple ways to get there. And so
Yes.
if you need assistance, like going into a hypnotherapy session, that's amazing and that's great if you have somebody who is skilled and can do that for you. But the ceremony itself allows us to go in. And so even if it's just in small increments, we can begin to make those changes ourselves. You know, honestly, your story reminds me of when my children, who are in their 30s, were teenagers. And I decided, their dad and I decided to, instead of reacting the way that we always did about things, to take a step back and do it differently. And just like the person reacted like they knew they had you pegged. You were going to do that response that you always do no matter what, and when you didn't, they didn't know what to think. And our kids did not know what to think when we began to do things differently in terms of how their shenanigans got played out at home and the response to that. But yeah, so you again, it just shows that we begin that pattern of changing when we can change within ourselves.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
The ceremony for December, the peace manifestation ceremony, it takes you internally and gets you focusing on peace at different levels. So, at the soul level, at the mind level, at the emotion level. And so, there's a kind of a prep phase before the ceremony starts that kind of gets you thinking through those things. And then the ceremony guides you through releasing some of those things that you're able to identify in the prep phase. So I anticipate this to be a very healing opportunity, as well as an opportunity to fill your own self with peace so that then you can become a light outward as well.
Well, and I think something really important to touch on is you said when we do this ceremony, we are healing at mind, at thought, and at the emotional level. And those are the places where we react or respond because those are the areas that either push our buttons or are the ingrained patterns that we always fall to. And so it is the potential to be a very healing ceremony in many ways. The other thing that I love about this month's ceremony is all of the shapes. There is so much geometry in it in so many ways. There are rectangles and hexagonals and triangles, and we're doing things in the sequence of 3, 6, 9. I think if everybody who does the ceremony takes a look and begins to just have the awareness of all of the nuances with this ceremony, it's perfect for closing out 2022.
One of the other things in addition to the shapes, I like there's a lot of texture. So it's a
Mm.
very tactile experience as well. So I really feel like you're going to be almost saturating every sensory organs to really immerse yourself into the ceremony.
It's multisensory. So,
Mhm.
as a teacher, I go back to that because I just can't help it. That is the way that children learn best or adults even, when we have the opportunity to engage all of our senses in so many ways, our sense of touch and smell and hearing and all of those things. Because part of the ceremony is spoken out loud this month. And speaking brings vibration, and vibration brings power to what it is that you are manifesting, intending, creating, asking for. So I love this month. I think there's a lot of elements in it that are unique and wonderful. And I cannot wait to see what 2023 is going to bring for all of us.
There are some very exciting things coming in 2023. I feel like the boxes that have happened over 2022 have been a very healing focused journey. Um,
It's been a progressive. I think it's been a progressive journey for people who've had the opportunity to do them in sequence.
They definitely build upon one another and kind of are moving through a sequence, but it's very healing focused, really looking internal, looking at our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, really trying to heal in those areas. 2023 I think is going to be very enlightening in how we look at things and the perspective with which we look at them, and being able to identify energy that we need to really I don't know if traction is the right word, but like this, I really feel this forward momentum that is almost built upon the healing that happened in 2022. So I'm
Yes.
excited for that forward momentum that I'm seeing. And almost like the expansion that's coming as well.
Oh, huge expansion. I think 2023 is going to be moving us into some very different energies. I mean, and there's many things that are going to contribute to that, whether it's
Mhm.
planetary, astrological, just worldwide energies and vibrations. I think there's a lot that's going to change for everyone in this coming year. And I know that the Light and Love box is one of the things that just once a month people can tap into and be a part of their own personal transformation and support themselves as they move through in these new energies.
I know I probably sound like a broken record, but I think our world is so fast paced and the demands on each individual are so great. We have so many things that we are wanting to or need to accomplish. It's important to set aside times that allow you to slow down, connect with the elements, connect with your higher self. It is crucial in the healing process and in a growth process so that we can grow, learn, expand, move forward.
The triangular aspect, the part that the triangle that they create in the ceremony does bring in all of the things that three represents: the past, the present, the future. And when you think about a full moon ceremony, you are taking from the past, building to that present moment, creating in that present moment the things that you want to hold so that the future then falls into a place where it has a different vibration. And if you are a new subscriber, this gives you an opportunity to go back and incorporate all of those energies that each of the 2022 boxes brought. And they're perfect actually to do either by yourself, or you could even do them in small groups. Remember the first box that we ever did? We did with a group of amazing women, and it was transformational.
That was a wonderful experience. Well, we invite those of you who wish to dig a little bit deeper to check out the links below. And you can subscribe to the Light and Love Box by visiting the website. And these monthly energy based ceremonies are designed to help you focus on your true intentions and help you manifest your best life while healing your spirit, soul, mind, and body and emotions.
Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell below so that you can be notified when new content is released. And I just want to thank everybody who has been listening, everyone who has been subscribing this year, and I wish everybody a peaceful and joyous holiday.